Hey guys, welcome to 6 Voices, a brand new 6 Happening podcast. So far, we've just been displaying our writing on our blog. Here, we'll be discussing various topics regarding the largest city in Canada and showcasing our unique personalities. We look forward to bringing listeners our viewpoints on all topics surrounding the Six. At times, there will be guest speakers as well, so be sure to tune into each episode whenever possible. Looking forward to bringing you guys nothing but the best 6 Happening content for years to come.
Out there, and then they have that third one from the Oxford University that's like kind of in trials. What I found interesting from reading it was just that dude, you gotta store these ones in different places. It's very like high tech, like technical, like the way that's gonna be distributed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like right now, all I see in my feed is just like CBC saying, "Oh, soon, we're gonna get shipments out." Blah 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 blah. I could see a shipment coming in by like the new year, no problem.
Right, exactly. And like that's like the States, and that's here, right? So I'm guessing that are we getting it before them, or I'm not even sure about that.
We might get it before them because like there's multiple places that are kind of like leading the race for research.
Yeah.
And usually they're like government institutions or like a scientist guild or whatever, right?
Yes. So yeah, it's interesting, man. Because the thing is, what I was reading was interesting. Was like, dude, they're having all these trials and everything like that, but you don't know like how that virus is gonna affect us. You know what I'm saying? Like later on after taking it, and like they still don't know like how long that like immunity will last. You know what I mean? Once taken, like you have to take it every 5 months or a year. That's what's interesting, you know?
Yeah, and I'm starting to see now like what some other people are saying in terms of like possible like how is it going to be applied in terms of legislation? Will they go kind of like Australia wants to go? It's like, oh, no jab, no job kind of thing.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, because actually, I work at the grocery store, so I've been getting all kinds of questions about this too, right? So one guy was actually talking to me, and like one customer, he goes, Matthew, I don't know if you know, but am I gonna have to use a vaccine to shop here after? And I couldn't really answer him because like I don't even know if we're gonna have to be vaccinated to be working, in the public just because we work with food, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling you guys would be like on a higher priority just because you're right there in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Uh, but I really think the healthcare workers would probably be the first.
Yeah, they're top of the line because they're right there with like the infected patient.
Yeah, yeah, and like so far, I mean, it seems adults are probably gonna be just your regular, adult, right?
Yeah. You
Um,
say adult, you mean like 18 to what? Like you're talking
I
18 and up, right?
I think more just like 28 to 45.
Oh, so you don't even consider before that adult?
Yeah, I don't know. Before that, it's just like youth, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I guess just because of like the system I've been working in, right?
Yeah. Okay. True. I was gonna say, shouldn't it like where you work? You're like kind of with around people that are like kind of like, shouldn't you be priority too? Because you're around those kind of people too, right? They're not infected people, but they're like people who are more at risk, no?
Yeah, I would be. The thing is, though, I'm not like I'm not on the floor or like on the front lines.
Oh, you're in the office.
No, I'm at home. I'm on a leave.
Oh, okay, there you go. I didn't understand that. But I guess, but before, when you were like at the place, like, was it like, were you in the office or were you with the people?
Oh, before I was both, man, all over. I was in the office with the people, doing programs and shit, and now it's just like you can't do anything. So
Yeah,
I think the biggest challenge, like I know eventually you're gonna have to be going back,
yeah,
but the biggest challenge is gonna be to try and I don't know, just get used to the whole scene, man. Because sometimes it can be a little hard, like you do your best, but it's just like you're part of a big system slash cycle, you know?
Yeah. So hold on. So you were like that before, where you were around with the people, and then I would think that when you were at that point doing all that, you would have been more like at risk to get something. You would have been considered more like maybe frontline, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, I left before even the first wave started.
Oh,
I
that was a
left,
while ago then.
yeah. I left around like Feb of this year.
Oh yeah, and you see, well, I was just talking with someone else that like this whole thing started popping up like like in spring, March, May. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, what's this virus? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is now, like in retrospect, the second wave, it was like, dude, it was everything everybody thought or said it was gonna be. That's the funniest part.
Yeah.
Like, not like haha funny, just like, ironic funny. Of, dude, the first wave was nothing. I remember, it was like, we were still like phase three. Everything seemed like, okay, yeah, we're gonna start
I think
coming.
it was still open. I think there was still clubs open.
Yeah, like bars were opening up, clubs were starting to like book stuff, and
Yeah,
and it looked like everything was gonna go, I don't know, air quotes, back to normal, and then
yeah,
and then it got worse, right? And then we saw it for ourselves. I remember, like the hospitality industry took a huge hit. Just like, there's all these people, these like bartenders and waiters and waitresses and so on and so forth. Like, they make their money off tips,
exactly.
right? So it's like they're there to. It's almost like they're more than a waiter at that point, depending on the restaurant, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like a host. They're almost like an ambassador.
And I kind of felt like it's kind of like because when all that was happening, the sense I got from people around me just talking about it was just like, okay, we have this thing happening now, but it's gonna fizzle out in a couple of weeks or a few months or a month or whatever, right? And then we're gonna be able to do whatever we want, like go here, like go to Cabana, get a booth, you know what I mean? Like hit up those like boat parties and all these other kind of things. Go to that park with like 100 people, have a barbecue. You know what I mean? Like people were already like still trying to get it going while this was on the side trying to ignore it. Because I think wasn't that around the same time that they had that huge crowd in the Trinity Bellwoods or whatever it was there. Remember that? Was that like
Oh yeah, where they had to draw the fucking circles.
and it was just like, is this what you call distancing? And there was a bunch of people.
It's just like, the latest crazy thing I've seen was, I think it was in a mall up in like Newmarket or whatever, and some dude was getting arrested for not wearing a mask. But I was just thinking, like, this seems a little too convenient that somebody just started to record when somebody's getting like mashed to the floor, arrested, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, there was only one comment. There was only one interaction on that post. Nobody wanted to touch that shit with a 50-foot pole. And one person commented like, "Oh, it's such an abuse of power," and
Wow.
I was just like, I need more context.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
See, for me, it's just like, yeah, you know, when you see those kind of videos, I saw it too. What you're talking about on the Mi Gente, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I like when you see those kind of videos, it's kind of like, okay, what did he do? How far was he? How much did he disrespect the police for that to start happening? Because a bunch of stuff happened before that to get to that point.
Yeah, because like nowadays, I know police know better than to like start that shit, right? Because they're like, at the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody recording.
They're under the microscope, police.
Yeah, and I feel like it's fine because their position in society is quite high. Because especially, I kind of wish my buddy was here, because when he was like a cop, dude, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy because you can see it's one of those like social mobility jobs. It's just automatically gets you like respect.
Yeah, like you're talking about cop, right? Like cop, like the job cop.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like one of those like socially ingrained like respected jobs, I guess, right? Like I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
no issues with cops, right? Because for me, they've always been. I've had great experiences. It's not to like diminish anybody else's. Like I'm sure,
yeah.
there've been officers that have made mistakes, and I think the best way forward is just to make sure they get punished for it, right?
Exactly.
Because the biggest for me, I would just imagining myself to like put myself in the shoes of people feeling that kind of stuff or experiencing the effects of that kind of discrimination. It's just like it's huge.
Exactly. And you see, for me, my example with that is just like I have a friend, right? And he would say he would have an uncle in his own family who was a cop, and he would call him like a traitor. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
he's against us or something. And it's kind of like, why do you see your own family that way just because of like, other than when he takes off the uniform, he's the same guy you knew before that. And I don't think you were calling him a traitor before that. You know what I mean? So it was kind of confusing to kind of like understand that mentality. But then again, I don't know where he's coming from in terms of the experiences he's had with other cops that aren't necessarily his uncle. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a little bit like, it's kind of like you don't know where people are coming from sometimes, but you just try and stay. For me personally, I try and stay neutral. Talk about my experiences.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's what really helps. I guess I don't know. Looking at kind of like a broader or a bit of a tangent, it's just like it's what helps to keep perspective, man. Especially in times like this, it's just like people are losing their shit over
Definitely.
the stuff that generally, I think before all this pandemic, they would just probably squash their shit and walk away and be like, "Listen, I have better stuff to do," right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it never
And
boiled over past like passive aggressive, right? But like that energy was always there, right?
it's just more controlled before, more contained.
Yeah, now people are
And
just, dude, anybody that goes out, I feel like it just they make it as like, okay, well, if anything happens to me, then I'll go out doing whatever I wanted to do and do it my way, right?
exactly. Or like people nowadays, they'll just tell you whatever. Like that lady in the store to you. You know what I mean? Like they're not afraid to say whatever they want to you now. There's no respect anymore for people, for others.
Oh yeah, no. Like I honestly think that lady maybe she was stressed out because like I
Yeah.
didn't lash out. I'm just like, listen, I don't know you, stranger danger, whatever. And I honestly felt better for it. Like, yeah, there was a moment where I honestly thought, like, dude, okay, I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind. But then there was a part of me that's just like, no, I'd rather go home and have dinner.
Yeah. Not deal with this right now.
Yeah, no.
I actually saw a video. I'm not sure where it was. It was on IG. You know IG, like you're just scrolling through something. You're like, oh, I like that video, and I want to show someone later. That's why you should see my save on my IG. There's
Hmm.
like I got a bunch of saved just to show people. And so there's one video I saw. It was from Winnipeg. I don't know if you saw it. It was a cop stopping a couple,
Yeah.
and then the lady in the car asking the cop why he does not have his mask on when he comes to talk, like when he came to like write them up or ticket or something.
Hmm.
And he goes, so instead of like he was about to give him a warning, but because the woman asked that, he I guess got like pissed off or like thought like, oh, how dare you ask me that or something. And he's like, you know what? I'm actually gonna detain you guys to come in with me. And he was like, follow me or something like, you know what I mean? Like follow me.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, what happened? She's like, why are you doing that? Just because I asked you, do you have a mask on? Like I can't ask you. He's like, no, well, you're not being right. Like I was gonna give you a warning, but now I'm doing this.
Yeah,
So
because the thing is, like, I've never seen them outright just be like, "Yo, I don't like your face. I'm gonna arrest you." Like, they give people chances, right? And I
yes,
feel like now this whole wave of, or I don't know, generation of people that started this thing of like filming everything when
Yeah.
in reality they're only filming the part that, like, I don't know, this is just the way I see it. This is like my opinion at this point, but it's just like I feel like they're almost only filming the part that'll like get them famous. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like a viral part, you mean?
It's almost like, yeah, it's just weird. And I see it a lot in social media. It's this weird thing of like it's the currency of clout, right?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing now.
And I don't understand it, and I avoid it. I just go and I do my thing because it's just like I feel like after that it goes in the direction of your six buzz.
Yeah, which we're trying to stay away from.
Yeah, no, one is enough. One is enough. And dude, they have like 6 other accounts. It's mad. It's mad. I like Instagram has become a big mess because they're messing around with it, and it's just like, oh, well, this version and then this version, and it was also just like I felt like I was in a bit of a zoo, so I had to just take a break from having these pictures or being like, oh yes, I'm having fun, photography, traveling, it's like.
Yeah, it kind of sometimes it just overwhelms you.
Yeah, and it's just like I just want to do things and look at them with my eyes, instead of like having to pull out a camera.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that. That's why you see for me sometimes like I was actually talking about this with Lewis. We'll have him on another time, right? And he goes, listen, how come, like, I told him, like, we're trying to build Six Happening and we're doing this, right? And then he goes, but I don't see you posting on your main account. Like, you don't post that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I don't post all like my life on Instagram. Like, I post what I want people to see. When I want to post it, you know what I mean? Not like, I'm not on no schedule trying to post. Like, I'm not trying to grow my IG to that, like in terms of him trying to be a photographer, he's trying to grow it as big as possible, right? But,
Yeah.
But it's kind of, for me, it's like I use it more casually, right? Like I'm not trying to like do that. In terms of for Six Happening, it's a bit different. Like we're actually trying to grow a following there. You know what I mean? So it's just a different mindset. For me, that's just more like leisure. my own personal account. I mean.
Yeah. And I feel like as long as the switch can be easily turned on and off, then yeah, sure, right?
For sure.
Because I feel like sometimes, like when you get really into the business, you're gonna be kind of more just posting on your personal account to slow down, as opposed to like, oh, this is what's up with me. Like I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather show what I think was interesting at that time, and let people decide, right?
Exactly. And then exactly, because they can come to their own conclusions, and then they can ask you about it if they want to know more about what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I find even when I post like pictures and stuff, it's just like I try and post a mood, right?
Yeah, I see that because sometimes I'll see in your thing you'll have like pictures and then you have like little captions underneath. I like that. It's good because it's like you said before, it's to the point. It's showing a picture and then it's underneath exactly what you think about that picture. Like there's no like confusion.
Yeah, I mean, plus the hashtags help a lot, man. I try and keep them to like just what I need, but there's certain ones that'll give me like an extra 2 to 5 reach, right?
Exactly. Actually, I'm actually gonna ask Taz about that next time. What is our reach on our posts? Because for example, for me on mine, I'm getting like over 100 on each post.
Yeah, like some of the.
Whenever I do post.
Yeah, like some of the photos I got 90 in like 2 hours.
You see? There you go. It's good. I mean, a lot of people are checking it out, so it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, as long as Instagram doesn't become like a bot fest, then I think it'll be okay. Because like it's between the freaking cryptocurrency bankers and like porn sites and
Yeah.
you know.
There's lots going on there.
And the models.
That's
The Instagram models.
Yeah. know what?
Oh my god.
I was actually thinking about that. I actually think like I have to start unfollowing some people. You know, why I say that? I'll go on. It's just for this simple reason. I'll go outside and check my feed, and then like someone's ass will just show up on my feed, and I'm like, okay, this looks nice, but I don't know if I want to be looking at it right here.
Yeah, like it makes me. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like I want to get a photographer and just for like shits and gigs, model as like a plus size male model, and then
that's funny, man. We should do that.
and just like model 6ixhappening stuff because like a lot of shit came in. I just have to make a video of I got an agenda, a pen, another like mug, a shirt for a friend. I think my dad said he still wants a shirt.
Excellent. Actually, my parents were interested too. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask them exactly what they want, or so they.
Oh yeah, because the thing is, the masks are still expensive for the Vista print. They're basically like $30 a pop.
Yeah.
And AliExpress takes about 2 to 3 weeks each shipment.
Okay.
So even if like I tried to see if I can do like a mass order now, I was gonna do like 50 pieces for 100.
Yeah.
But like they won't get here till like the New Year, so I'm just like, I don't know if I can use the Christmas one. Maybe let's come up with like a winter one.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. We can just. There's lots of like pretty much the winter colors. If it's not like for Christmas, it's like I'm thinking like some kind of like ice kind of blue. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, like I wanted to see if we can find a way to work one of those logos onto one of the pictures and then have that print onto like a t-shirt or a mask.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because then it'll be like, okay, what would be good for us is to have like a signature shirt or a signature piece that like of merch for each season. You know what I mean? And we can alter it each year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be like okay, for example, winter colors are like light blue. You already know they're that kind of colors, like ice blue, bluish, white kind of colors.
Yeah.
Spring is like when I think of spring, I think of like you know, like green,
Yellow.
like green, like red, yellow, exactly. You know what I mean? And then summer is like orange. I don't know, you know, like red. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yellow. Yeah.
Yellow can go for spring and summer. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Spring, a lot of the time I think of like white.
Yeah, white. White. For some reason, green is coming to mind. I don't know why for spring.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of green popping up.
Yeah, I guess just because of the fact that like it turns green after, you know, like like the leaves.
Yeah.
To make it simple. And then I guess in summer it would be like, yeah, like you said, yellow. And then there's all kinds of summer like.
Yeah.
And you know, anyways, you get the point. But yeah, man, it's good. We could think about all that. And dude, that's not bad to put a plus size model. Why not, man? Why not for 6 hours? We can be different. We don't gotta follow everybody else, you know. As long as they're promoting our stuff, why not? You know, because that's not to say that we can't have a nice girl or anyone else after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it also shows that anyone can fit into our stuff, not just like nice looking people, you know, or fit people or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah. Like once we get things rolling, we can start like doing orders and stuff like that. Because I know for now, our cost for any item for a custom print is gonna be like $30. Average.
Yeah.